Picture this. There's a mother and her young son in the desert, no water, dying of thirst. And the mother's despair is so great, she can't watch her son suffer anymore. So she places him under a tree and walks away. She sits down a distance from him and she cries out to God, "Please don't let me see my boy die." We've been talking about the descriptive names of God and how they tell us about his character and greatness. This mother's cry would become one of the descriptive names of God, El Roi, which means God who sees. See, the woman in this story is an Egyptian named Hagar, and she was in a bad situation from the get-go. She was a slave, she was a surrogate mother, and she was an outcast. Hagar was a slave of a woman named Sarai and became a surrogate mother because Sarai couldn't conceive, and in desperation made a deal with her husband Abram to make Hagar his second wife. Not optimal. When Hagar was able to conceive while Sarai couldn't, she made a pretty catastrophic mistake. She began to look down on Sarai, and this made Sarai hate her. So Sarai goes to Abram and says, "You've done me wrong. I gave you my slave as a second wife so you can have children. And now she looks at me with contempt." Abram says to Sarai, "She's your slave. Do with her what you want." So Sarai starts to treat Hagar badly. So badly, she runs away with her son Ishmael. That takes us to the desert and how Hagar's cry becomes a descriptive name of God. Something to remember, though. Hagar is an Egyptian. In those times, the Egyptians had over 2,000 gods they worshiped. But Hagar didn't believe in those gods. She believed in the one God, who would ultimately form the nation of Israel from Abram and Sarai, who would become Abraham and Sarah. This takes us to her cry, El Roi. She's about to completely abandon hope. God intervenes and hears her cries. An angel appears to her and tells her they will not die, and her son will become a great nation. A well of water is revealed to them, and they are saved. Knowing God saw her plight and had mercy on her, she declares, "You are El Roi. You are the God who sees." So when we go through dark nights of the soul, we must remember we are known and we are seen by the God who sees us where we are, as we are, El Roi.